Babe, Maggie wants something else.
I got a new thing for ice cream.
I'm on live, babe. Hi, everybody. I know it's late, but I wanted to update everybody on Sally. It has been, I feel like this is the longest day of my life. It has been so stressful, and I know it's stressful on all of you. I want to say thank you, first and foremost. I have been reading comment after comment, and I am just so humbled and so thankful for each and every one of you. I don't even know what to say at this point other than thank you so very much. You witnessed everything that transpired today. Sorry, I'm home and the lighting is not the best. I'm walking around. Hold on one second, guys. Alright, this is a little better. I'm gonna go in a quiet space. So as you know, for any of you, I see there's quite a few people on here, so you've all been waiting patiently, not so patiently, for this update. I have been literally sitting by the phone waiting for the amazing, I could cry, Dr. Reese, the neurologist. If anybody has restored my faith in humanity, my God, this man is a miracle worker. The text messages going back and forth, the communication, the heart, the love, everything he puts into these dogs is just over the top. Sorry, I'm getting some text messages. As you know, I received an urgent plea from the Miami-Dade shelter. And it was a picture of a Shih Tzu, and it said urgent plea that she needs medical assistance immediately. And I waited because we are full to capacity. And I waited less than 24 hours. I wrote back to the shelter and asked them if anybody showed any interest, if anybody placed any holds, and he said no. So I immediately looked at Carol and I said, she needs us, Carol. She said, do your thing. So I sent in our hold, and they answered back great. And I went down this morning. I drove down by myself, which normally I always bring somebody with me, but because our rescue houses are so full and so overwhelming right now with so many tough cases, I decided to just wing it. And I had no idea what I was going to be walking into and what I was in store for. When they placed her in my car, she was quiet for about the first 5 minutes. And then as soon as I got on the highway, the crying and the screaming that was coming from this baby girl, literally, I was shaking. I was driving 80 miles an hour all the way from Miami to Boynton, and all I can say is thank you, God, it was a Saturday. There was no traffic, because if I got stuck in traffic, I think I would have lost my mind. I can't elaborate or reiterate enough to you as to how difficult it is to witness and hear a dog screaming in such excruciating pain, and you feel so helpless. You can't do anything to take that pain away. It is, I don't even know the words. I'm just at a loss. I've been playing this over and over in my head all day. Anyway, I'm replaying it as I'm talking to you. I have been crying all day. I have been sick to my stomach all day and night. I think it's after 10:30. I was going to wait until morning to do this video, and I was like, screw it. I have to do this. I know everybody's waiting. And I didn't want to just put some post with verbiage up there, updating. So when I arrived at the hospital, yes, the frustration of course, why is it taking more than 5 minutes? They were busy doing emergency cases, finishing up. They had an emergency just like Sally on the table. The doctor was finishing up, and it's a weekend, so they're short staffed. Um, I also want to say before I move forward, you know, um, listen, I want to say thank you to the shelter, because we can always bash a shelter, right? But we need to pay attention. And when they do something right, we need to appreciate that. I want you to understand something. Like Carol and I were just talking about the crying and the pain that Sally was in. The shelters are not equipped for dogs like this. They don't have MRIs. They can't diagnose these dogs properly. And I give them huge kudos for reaching out to rescue partners. They could have easily put this dog to sleep and said, screw it. Let's just put her to sleep. But they didn't. They took the time to reach out for help. And nobody stepped forward for a good 24 hours. I received that plea twice by email before I responded. I was waiting for somebody else to step up, and nobody did. So a lot of rescues are strapped for funds. They're full to capacity. They're exhausted, as we are, as you can see. Look at me. But I'm not going to let a dollar or money thing get in the way. And we never have, as you know, if you watch us and follow our rescue. I will never let a dollar get in the way of saving a life. I love going for a dog or a cat in need that is an underdog or an undercat that needs us so desperately that we have to do something. And that's how I felt when I sent my rescue hold in on Sally. When I asked the woman at the shelter if she was picked up on the side of the road, was she brought in by a good Samaritan? She told me that she believed that she was brought in by a good Samaritan. Now, remember something. When these animals are brought into the shelter, the person that brought her into the shelter, do you honestly think that they were gentle? They knew her injuries. They were, holding her properly and keeping her body comfortable, probably holding her over their arm. Who knows? Then you hand the dog to the shelter workers. And I only know from seeing what I see. Take the dog, hold it over your arm, put it in a kennel, examine. They don't know the extent of the surgeries. The pain that Sally was in from having not only a broken back in two places, but a broken jaw, which I had no idea until after they did the MRI and the radiographs. Thank God she did not have a collapsed lung. That's one less thing to worry about. But I'm telling you all this in detail because I want you to understand. It's not, oh yay, 100 plus save Sally. Sally had surgery. It's not that simple. There's so much that goes into rescuing these innocent, helpless little souls. So much. So again, I am so grateful to the shelter, Miami-Dade, for reaching out to their rescue partners. I only wish Broward would do the same. They don't. We've got a serious problem in Broward, and we're all trying to work on it as a rescue community, but we're really not getting anywhere, and it's very, very frustrating. So for that, I'm grateful. The second thing, I am so grateful for Dr. Reese at the Southeast Neurology in Boynton Beach. He is a diamond in the rough. He's working through God. We were texting, and before he went in for surgery, he sent me a couple of texts. He said he could not believe the condition of Sally, that he could not believe that she could even move a foot, a paw. She moved a paw. Um, and after seeing everything and doing all the radiographs and the MRI, he said, I want to give her this chance. I said, then do it and go for it. And he went in at 5:45. He just called me right before I started this video. Um, I didn't answer the phone, but he left me this long, detailed message. So I texted him back, just thanking him for everything and for restoring my faith. And I said, please go home and get some rest. You must be exhausted. He goes, I have 2 more emergency surgeries that I have to do. And I'm like, how do you do it? He goes, I work for him upstairs. That is a person that truly restores my faith in humanity. And I get it. I get it because we as rescuers, we do the same. There's no rest. There's no peace. It's 24/7, guys. It's exhausting. When we get quiet behind the scenes, you guys might think that, oh, where are you? What's going on? There's so many emergencies, so many things that we're dealing with behind the scenes on a daily basis. You have no idea. Some days I wish I could set up a camera and just let it roll and let it run 24/7. Because I think if you watched us like a reality, you would be like, holy shit. How do you guys do this? We have no idea. I know I do my videos walking through the house. Tiffany does her videos updating and taking dogs to vets and things like that. And I'll do my videos going from room to room. That's nothing. Nothing at all. Shelly's at the rescue house with Keith. Balto's been having a bout with diarrhea. We're trying to get him regulated. I mean, he is shitting. It is across the room, out the pen, all over the pen, under the couch. The floor is covered. We brought him to the vet. We switched his food. We've got him on probiotics for his stomach, metronidazole. It's a shit fest. And it's not 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day. It's exhausting. So that alone, on top of everything else, it's so much work. There's no rest. There's no peace. I'm not complaining. I'm just being real and I'm being transparent with all of you. There's no place we would rather be, but we talk amongst each other and we say, I don't think they really know what goes into this sometimes. For the most part, I would say 99% of you with your comments are so thoughtful and so kind. Sometimes I go on these live feeds and I read back on these comments, and I'm not going to lie to you. I know because I see you commenting, and I love it when you do because you save me the time. But I get on there and I start reading the comments, and I'm reading them, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What? Do you even have a brain in your head? What are you talking about? So I'm venting, and I should be venting. Sometimes we need to just vent. So as far as Sally goes, he said it was probably one of the worst. Now imagine how many surgeries this doctor does a day and over the years. He said it was probably one of the worst cases he's ever done and challenging. He believes that he got everything in place. He sent me a couple of photos. He is extremely positive and hopeful. He said he will update me more in the morning. He did say that she lifted her head and actually kind of sat up, which is a great, great sign. He said he doesn't envy her for the next 3 days, meaning she is going to be in excruciating pain. But again, she's on a fentanyl patch and she's there 24 hours around the clock with a private nurse to make sure she's comfortable if she needs extra whatever they give, whether it's morphine. I don't know what they add with a fentanyl patch, but I do know that she is in the best hands with a 24-hour care around the clock. When we do surgeries like this and we use the best doctors, you also have to expect it comes with a high cost. And the MRI was $3,000 today. Radiographs, don't know what that cost. They probably threw them in because they're so kind. The back surgery that took Dr. Reese 5+ hours was between $10,000 and $12,000. I don't know the total. We get a little rescue discount. I won't know the total, but it's going to be close to 10 to 12,000. It's not that much taken off. You also have to remember she has a broken jaw. Dr. Reese does not repair jaws. So once she heals from her back, God willing, now we have to look into surgery for her jaw. That's another probably $3,000. She's not spayed. She's thank God, heartworm negative. I believe they vaccinated her at the shelter. Yes, she's heartworm negative. And then I'm going to take her to an eye specialist to make sure her eyes are good. For Shih Tzus have a tendency to have dry eye, but that's the least of our worries. What I'm trying to say to each and every one of you is, guys, this is a lot for one little tiny 11-pound dog to endure. And I can guarantee you, I would bet $1 million if I had it, that 99.9% of rescues would have put Sally to sleep. 100% without even a question. But that's why we were placed where we were placed, because God had a plan for her. And I'm a firm believer. How many dogs have we rescued with broken backs and injuries that we've done the surgeries, 10,000, 15,000, and they are living their best life. They are in homes, they are loved, they are adored, broken back, crippled, they're running, they're loving life. My personal dog, Brody, that I rescued, a 100+ rescue, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was crying in pain. And I couldn't understand. I took him from vet to specialist to specialist. They're like, we can't find anything wrong with him. I'm like, well, you're missing something because he's crying in pain. And every time he walks, he's crying. I took him for an MRI, and sure enough, he had 2 ruptured discs. MRI, 3,000, 10,000 for back surgery, which I am still paying off my personal dog. And I had insurance on him, but they would not cover it. They said it was a pre-existing condition, and he never had any pre-existing back injuries or disc injuries. So I'm still paying off my personal dog, Brody, 3 years ago for his back surgery. So listen, when you consider adopting and opening up your home to an animal, it's a lifelong commitment. You better be prepared to get a second mortgage on your house, be prepared to be able to qualify for Care Credit, have a credit card, because this is a commitment. They depend on you solely for everything. It's like having an infant for the rest of your life. They can't do anything for themselves. And when I see so many dogs suffering on the streets and abandoned in the shelters, alone and scared and shaking, it destroys me. It makes me so angry and sad, and I've lost so much faith in humanity. It's only getting worse and worse and worse. I will also tell you that once Sally is released, she'll probably be at the hospital for 3 to 4 days on proper pain management. I am desperately going to be looking for a foster home. That's where I'm begging all of you. She's about 6 years of age. She's sweet as sugar. I had my hand in her face and rubbing her, and with all that pain, she never once tried to snap at me, nothing. The sweetest little angel of 11 pounds Shih Tzu. So I am desperately going to be in need for a quiet space for Sally to recuperate. We will continue to cover everything, but I have no room in our rescue house. The last thing she needs is to be set up in a pen in a loud, busy rescue house. She needs quiet and peace. and something local where I can take her back and forth to her appointments. I will pick her up, I will take her, but I need somebody that is calm and loving and can help me out. That's what I'm in need for desperately. And in 3 to 4 days, I'm going to need that place. So I'm begging everybody to please consider being that person that can help us. We're doing all the hard stuff, but I am going to need a foster, a quiet place. Um, she can be set up in a round pen with cushy beds, her food and water. Um, no kids. She needs calm, but that's what I'm going to need. And moving forward, this is just the beginning, because as I stated, God willing, I don't believe she was placed in our path for no reason. I have to believe and have faith that she was placed in our path because this is going to work. And I have all the faith in Dr. Reese and Southeast Neurologist that I have to believe that it's going to work, and I'm going to get the update like I did with my Brody, that she's up and she's walking and she can feel and she can pee and she can poop. Because that's another thing to worry about. Are they incontinent? Do they have control of their bowels? So every moment from right this second on for the next 4 or 5 days are going to be very crucial in Sally's update to see where we go from here. And then again, the jaw has to be attended to. She has a broken jaw. I'm going to wait a little bit on that. Feed her soft food. We've dealt with this before. Keep her on pain meds. Again, if you can help, I will put our email address in this post when I shut down. I put the PayPal. I put the mailing address. So please, I know you've all donated and so generously. But we're still a long way away from what we're going to need to cover this entire surgery and our next surgery and her spay and whatever else she may need, physical therapy. I don't know. But whatever she needs, Sally's going to get. We always ask for our ongoing mission, so for Sally, our ongoing mission, I'm so humbled. I was reading the comments that you were all writing, and I just don't even have the words. There's so many comments right now that I'm trying to read them as I'm speaking, but I'm missing all of them. Yes, I would love a foster to adopt. I'd love her to be in a home and get adopted. I'd love for her person that takes care of her, that's nurturing her back to life, that's part of this wonderful, wonderful recovery, to be her forever person. That would be amazing. It's bonding time. So again, I love you guys so much, and I am so very grateful. I hope you know that this comes from my heart and my soul, that I cannot elaborate how much we cherish each and every one of you. I'm speechless at this point, and I'm exhausted. I promise you, tomorrow morning, whenever they call me, I promise you I'll jump right back on and I'll keep you updated every step of the way. I know that you're all so patiently waiting for the updates as I'm sitting here and biting my fingernails off and just counting the seconds and constantly watching the clock. And I was reading the comments of everybody was writing that you were hysterical crying the entire time and you couldn't breathe from hearing her. I get it. And the reason I do these live videos for you is I want you to be part of this journey. Good, bad, indifferent. I think it is so important that you are brought along this journey every single step of the way. If I need to feel it, you need to feel it. The happy, the sad, the anger, the stupid, every ounce, every adjective, every feeling you need to feel if I feel it. I was driving. When I got closer to the hospital, it was about 10 to 15 minutes out. I was like, I need to turn this video on. I need to make this, I need everybody to see what I'm going through. And I did. And I'm glad I did because you see what I went through. You see what Sally had to endure. And I hope I put everything into perspective for all of you to understand better what it takes to rescue one tiny little life, one baby. So, guys, with all this being said, donate button is here, PayPal is up. I will put the email address and our phone number. I'll be up for the next hour. If you want to help out and you are local, but please think it through, be committed. Make sure you have a quiet home. No young kids running around. Somebody that's home from work or working from home that's truly ready to do this with me, because I can promise you it is the most rewarding feeling in the world. There's no greater feeling. Remember Amanda, the little Shih Tzu we pulled? And she was paralyzed. She couldn't walk. She had a fractured, broken pelvis. And they said, nope, it'll heal on her own. Thank God she didn't need surgery. But the first couple of weeks she was in our bathroom. We used to carry her out, put her in the backyard. She'd lay down and she wouldn't do anything. She was peeing just laying down. And then all of a sudden one day I did the live video for you guys. She got up and started walking around. Now she's adopted and she's running. She does miles around her block every day with her mommy and daddy. And they text me recently saying how much they love that little girl and she is their little princess and how grateful they are. So each and every one of these little precious souls, no matter what breed, no matter how old they are, no matter what conditions they have, it's not their fault. They all deserve a chance. And I only wish we could save them all. I wish we had more room. If I had more room in our rescue houses, we'd be saving a lot more lives. Unfortunately, with 2 rescue houses completely full to capacity, our fosters are full. We don't have that many fosters. I'm really upset about that. I wish I had more fosters. A lot of times I put out the pleas and people come on, I offered to foster. Well, you know what? You weren't a fit. I can't come out and be rude, but guys, if somebody comes on our page and says, you don't respond, I do respond. Trust me. But once I know that it's not a fit, it's not a fit. I mean, I'm still having people call me about Bobo, and they're saying, well, why not? Why can't he be with kids? Or how come? Why can't he walk on a leash? And I go through the whole thing. Somebody called me when I was leaving the neurologist today, interested in Balto. And I went over everything. Well, what is that? I said, why don't you Google it? I mean, my nerves were shot anyway. Had no patience at that point. I said, why don't you Google hydrocephalus, research it, call me back if you're interested. We can talk further. Well, what is it? Can he get help? And then I started explaining it. Well, is there surgery? I said, no, there's no surgery. It is what it is. Well, there has to be. Isn't there a doctor? I'm like, I gotta go. I just told you that I am driving and I need my navigation, and he just talking and talking and talking. It's like people don't listen. So again, please, what I'm trying to say is, if you are interested in helping out, thank you in advance. But please think it through. I'm telling you what she needs. Please don't call me from out of state. Well, can you ship her? Can you get transport? No. It has to be local. I need to get her to appointments. I also have another surgery for her coming up with her jaw once she gets through this back surgery, God willing, and whatever else she's going to need. So I need to come to your house and do a physical home check, make sure everything's perfect, and we will be part of this whole entire journey with you. So again, thank you so much for your love, your support, your kind words, taking the time to write, and not, just 2 words. You go into detail. You pour your hearts out. So hugs back to you guys too. I will put the information. If you can help, call me, email me, and I will update you more in the morning. Please donate, and please keep those prayers coming, because I do believe in prayer. This is Amy with my late night update with Sally, who has come out of surgery, resting comfortable, on pain medication, but it's going to be really rough for the next 4 days. So I promise to keep you posted every step of the way. 100 plus abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida. So humble, so grateful. Thank you guys.